Welcome to the Peak Podcast. My name's Kyle Nelson. I've got my good friend, my long-term co-host on another podcast.
It's very true.
Mr. Eli Libby.
What is up?
What's up, man?
This is amazing.
This is good.
Excited to have another show with you.
Yes, it's going to be good, dude. Something where we can really just speak what's on our mind, talk to some incredible coaches, and showcase what we got going on, which is
Absolutely.
a lot.
We do have a lot going on, but it's very fulfillment and passion driven.
Yes.
We've always tried to follow that journey,
Yes.
but I feel like what we have going now is
It's next
really,
level.
really our calling.
Well, before I felt like our calling was entrepreneurship,
Sure.
and that's a pretty broad net to throw out there.
Totally.
And I think now that we've really honed in and gone through some pretty crazy stuff in our lives, some ups, some highs and lows, just in business in general,
Sure.
versus everything else that we've got going on, we finally nailed it.
I
We finally
agree.
nailed our legacy business.
This is it. This is
It's
it.
very
And
exciting.
this podcast is a great avenue for us to bring on other coaches,
Yeah.
talk to them, pick their brain. I mean, with the Biz Bros Podcast, I think that was at the catalyst of that program or the podcast kicked us off down this path of thought leadership and soaking in so much information.
Let's learn
It's a
from some
great
amazing
avenue.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And
And this is a great way to learn
Yeah.
what their coaches are doing, support them. And I mean, we do always believe in community
Yes.
versus competition. We've always said that.
always.
And our program works very much in tandem with other coaches, and having them on the show, learning about what they're doing, any way we can support them, that's what
It's
we're trying
huge.
to do.
It's huge. It's the natural evolution of everything that we've done
It is,
together as a team,
for sure.
which has been a crazy journey, my friend.
It really, really
It
has.
has been insane.
It has. And I cannot wait
Yes.
for this next chapter.
I mean, the chapter's already, the
It's
pages
going,
have
man.
started to flip.
They're flipped, and they've got
So-
writing all over them.
It might be in the preface, but I mean, maybe we just start off with just kind of talk about what we got going on, and maybe our life the past few years. Because we still have the Biz Bros podcast going.
Totally.
We still talk to
It's humming.
amazing people, amazing
Yeah.
thought leaders.
Yeah.
Still a lot to learn from a lot of people, but we really needed to focus on a new podcast that was just towards what we're working on currently
Exactly.
with our quote unquote new business compared to all the other businesses that we've done.
Exactly. And that business is focused in the coaching space.
Yes.
And it's focused a little bit different approach, how we kind of penetrated into the coaching market.
Yeah.
And it's through a self-guided solo retreat.
Yes.
This is not an in-person retreat. We are not there. You do not go to a certain location.
Right.
You go to a place of peace, solitude, stillness for you. There's an experience and a program that
Yeah.
you're sent, and you go through that for 3 days, deep inner work
Huge.
by yourself in solitude, disconnected, digital detox.
Yes. Company's called Peak Fulfillment, Solo Retreats and Coaching. We got certified as life coaches a while ago. We started going down that path.
Mhm.
And really we started helping other men one-on-one, started doing a group coaching
Totally.
thing. And we found being business minded is how do we scale this bad boy past what
Exactly.
we can actually put hours in every
For
week.
sure.
And we came up with the solo retreat,
Mhm.
and we put our heart and soul writing it. You get 3 different days of workbooks, and really you're diving into self-discovery, self-reflection, and vision crafting. What does 1, 5, 10 years look like? Who are you accountable for, and how you can actually get there?
100%. I guess I jumped the gun there with talking about the program before we talked about the background, but I am so excited. We talk about it. All these networking events we go to,
Yeah.
every podcast we have, every meeting we're talking
Everyone
about
we
it.
talk to.
And it's had amazing feedback. And that
Uh-huh.
was, I think, one of the biggest parts of our program is the renditions and the offers and
Oh my
everything
gosh.
we went through in the early stages you talked about, which was, let's start with men and let's start with male entrepreneurs. And it slowly started to evolve, and we crunched the offer. And I think the most important thing we did was get out and talk the offer, talk it
That was the biggest
in a
thing.
mirror, talking to somebody completely that you do not know.
Yes. What's interesting too is from our coach, from some
Mhm.
people that have also guided us that have started coaching programs, so many of them said, don't start creating content. Do not start
Yeah.
creating, curriculum
Great advice.
and recording
Yeah.
and putting stuff out there until you actually start talking to people.
Mhm.
We didn't listen to that advice
No.
because we thought we knew.
We did. We thought we knew.
And it's not that the content and curriculum was not useful and helpful. We still have it. We'll still use it someday. It's very good content, but that's not what people are looking for, what we thought they were.
No.
And people are truly looking for an experience that they can just go do by themselves, intimate, on a solo retreat, and just work on, honestly, 3, 6, 12 months worth of work in 3 days.
Yeah.
Because how much you're doing, how compressed it is, but also how you still have free time.
Totally.
You still have time to, do some recommended activities that we talk about, and actually kind of do some R&R as well.
For
You
sure.
can actually take some time and reset your brain and your body and your nervous system during that time.
I think a huge part of the success behind the program is the timing that I think everybody and what everybody's going through
Huge.
right now.
That's a really good point.
I think there's so much. We've talked about this every day. So the stimulus that we're all surrounded by, even what's in your pocket, right? That phone that's in your pocket, it drives people crazy.
Yes.
And when you actually detox and you step away from it, you feel like a whole new person. And that's, I think, one of the most powerful things is giving yourself that permission to actually do that. Otherwise, why would you do it?
Exactly. And why do people celebrate with each other when they delete their social media?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like, literally, when I deleted my social media apps with you,
Sure,
or not with you, but when I told you, I was like celebrating it.
Yeah.
Which is so weird.
Well, just shows the addictive nature behind it.
Addiction, dude, it's so bad.
Yeah.
And you don't even know it's there. And I mean, there's even so much more than just like, what it's doing to your psyche with the endorphins and posting something and checking it every minute to see how many people are engaging with it.
Yep.
But also, you get sucked in, and you just, as simple as thinking about the amount of blue light
Sure.
that you're getting, that is increasing, and how bad blue light is for you.
Yeah.
Like that alone, hours more.
Yeah. That's a huge part of it too. I also believe that most people are pretty selfless.
Yes.
I think to our core, I think most people are selfless. They don't take that time for themselves or do something for themselves. And this has been just a really, really cool thing for people.
Allowing people to give themselves permission to go and say, no, I need to take time. I need to take care of myself. I cannot show up for others unless I show up for myself first.
Yep, exactly. Is there something in particular that you are just, I don't know, this beaming light about this podcast that you're really, really excited about? Is there something that sticks out in your mind? Maybe a little bit different than we did in the Biz Bros podcast?
That's a good question. I'm looking really forward to talking to other coaches, but this sounds bad. I don't really care what they're coaching on. I don't really care what they're doing. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I really want to know what the moment was when they decided, oh, I do have something special. I went through something extreme or crazy or learned this. I want to coach people so they can either improve that moment or make it so they don't experience those moments or how to get through it quicker. There's a moment for a coach when they're like, this is it. I'm going to become a coach and teach people about this. I'm excited to hear those moments because those are typically very emotional, pinpoints in their life, extreme highs or very extreme lows.
Yep. Yeah. God, that's going to be fun.
That's what I'm excited for. Like, really, what about you?
For me, it's about the talking to coaches about like identity shift when they became confident in that they are a coach and that they are confidently say, I can coach that person, even if they have imposter syndrome. And they're like, man, this person, their accolades, their wisdom, their age. What was that moment when their identity shifted? I'm a coach. I'm the best coach in the world in this subject. I want to know about that. That's so it's huge. Kind of on the same line as you, but diving a little bit deeper into
I think it's a big depth. Deal. Having that confidence and changing your identity, because what that does for you is you can not only lead by your knowledge, but you can lead with like true love and true like, no, I'm really here to support you. I truly believe in you. I've gone through this. I've learned about this. I've all this stuff. And you're truly coaching this person from your heart.
100%.
Because like when you do like, we've done marketing agency, business consulting, and that's just more from like, oh, it's experience. Sometimes it's like you throw it to the machine and you're coaching them, but you're not doing it from the heart. You're just doing it to make money.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think a lot of the coaches, I know a lot of the coaches are going to come on. It is passion driven. It's driven from the heart. That'll be cool to hear come out.
Yeah.
And we'll get raw. We'll get transparent. We'll get vulnerable.
Oh, for sure.
That's what we do. You
I'm
guys,
sure people will start coaching us on the calls
for
or
sure.
on the podcast.
For sure.
So I'm down.
Absolutely. Let's open up. Our best combos are always the ones where we're a fly on the wall, the audience is a fly on the wall,
Yeah.
and we chat.
So why don't you let's talk a little bit about the program a little bit more.
Okay.
Let's talk about the experience a little bit more. Let's open that up. What is it that people are getting out of it? You know, I just mentioned self-reflection, self-discovery, and vision crafting, but maybe let's dive in. Just give a little piece, a little dusting on top of that mountain. I'm not talking a blizzard. We don't want to get deep, but just a little snow dusting. Gotcha. What is it that people can really? Well, I think actually we can just speak to. What is it that some of the students that we've already have experienced through it? What are they getting out of this program?
For sure. I mean, one of the ones that stick out to me most, I don't want to say it sounds cliche or biased, but life transformation. Becoming self-aware, the small moments in life matter a lot.
Huge.
Every single day is a gift, and the small moments really matter.
It's
and being
huge.
intentional on those moments, have had some just amazing transformational stories on that. So I think that's a big takeaway is overall being more self-aware of your surroundings.
Yes.
The byproduct of that is of limiting beliefs. You know, for me, that was one of the bigger ones, is moving that mental roadblock aside, but knowing the triggers when they come up. Okay, I'm going down that path of negativity or toxicity, and being able to put a new pattern in place. We've seen some amazing transformation in that as well.
Yeah, I think, setting intention and starting it just from the smallest moments and the ripple effect that can turn into to the bigger moments in life, right?
Totally.
As small as I'm going to make this cup of coffee.
Yep.
And I'm going to thank the people that picked the coffee beans,
Exactly.
whoever grinded these beans or the machine that's grinding it, and whoever is behind the engineering of this machine. Thank you so much. I have so much gratitude for that. And then that first sip. How much gratitude I have for that first sip. It's just like getting that caffeine in your blood. It's like crack. Not that I know it's like to do crack, but I'm sure it's like that. And you feel it, you enjoy it, and it just gives you a moment just to relax.
What you're describing is the first 30 to 60 minutes of your day, and how important that is.
It's so important.
A lot of students, the takeaways is that moment of intentionality and gratitude to kick your day off.
You have to do it. It is pinnacle in order to actually have a successful day when it comes to like mindset.
For sure.
What do most people do when they wake up?
Check your phone.
First thing, you're looking for stimuli. You're looking for those endorphin hits or what to be negative about.
Absolutely. All the things you have to do today. Think about that does from just the emotions that are running through your head when you see the amount of work that you have stacked up or something you're behind on. It automatically puts you into a defensive state.
It does. You become reactive instead of proactive of the day. You start freaking out. Your anxiety starts going. You start stressing. And then you're just knocking out fires that you're told to be put out rather than actually like moving forward.
Exactly.
Because you can't even think. Think about a day where you wake up and it's actually like out of a movie, right? You see the sunset, you appreciate it. Your kids say good morning to you. You hug, kiss your husband or wife, and you truly have appreciation just walking into the day. Very little people do that. They 100%. Flip over, they grab their phone, they say, "Oh shit, what time is it? I got these emails stacked. I got to run, take a shower. I got to brush my teeth. Oh man, I got breakfast, coffee. Got to go. Bye." Oh, I didn't even say hello to the ones that I love, or I didn't even think about how beautiful day this is. How lucky we are to have every single day.
It's amazing.
People take granted for the future. I mean, the current, when all they think about is the future and what's to be. It's like, think about the moment.
Yeah.
Right. Because tomorrow is not promised.
For sure. And I think that's, wrapping it back up to your question, I think that's a huge takeaway from that's such a small amount of time, 3 days where you give yourself the permission to be in solitude, stillness by yourself in your thoughts. It's incredible. That's a huge takeaway. Huge takeaway from the experience.
See, more impactful is the corporate stuff we're doing too, because that's a large scale approach.
We can make large impact. We are making large impact.
So we also have a company called Welldia, and it is guided employee wellness days. So a lot of companies out there do PTO mental health days or just overall, general wellness days.
Yeah.
But a lot of times what we've learned, and we've asked companies this question, like, what are people doing? And they're like, well, the PTO is actually kind of lip top benefit.
Yeah.
All they're doing is Netflix, DoorDash,
Mhm.
get up late. They might just like, yes, it's nice to do that.
Yeah.
Like not have to think about work.
Mhm.
But that's not working on your mental health.
It's
At
not.
all.
And the reality from the research we've done, right? 18% of employees actually use that day.
Yes.
So
Why
how
is
can
that?
we create motivation to actually use the day?
Right.
And how from the employer can they inspire
Right.
their work
Yes.
force
Yeah.
to do something?
And the other fact of 88% of employees want their
Mhm.
employer to care about their mental health.
For sure, especially nowadays, right?
It's
It's
everybody.
a whole. I mean, that's like a general topic across
Yes.
all larger companies. Is who we
Yes.
work with.
Yeah. Yeah. So these employees get a box just like the solo retreat experience, and they go through stress management, goal setting, and just so much more thoughtfulness and mindfulness, gratitude,
Mhm. Intentionality, right?
intentionality is
That's
huge.
That's the foundation to
Yeah.
the program.
Yeah. So that's been really good. We've had some crazy,
Yeah.
amazing large companies pilot it. We're starting to talk to other companies to start implementing it in their businesses.
Mhm.
So that's going to be really cool too, to see that grow. Because that's a different style of impact. People that are coming to us with the solo retreats, the 3-day ones, that there's a lot of intention behind wanting to go and do this. Where the employees, it's giving easier access to people that may not even
Totally.
be thinking about this.
Totally.
And they're getting it for free from their employer. Like that is such a different style of
Yeah.
impact, which is really cool.
Yeah. I'm really excited for that retention piece as well, to kind of
Yeah.
see how employees react and how they react to their superiors. And I think what we're trying to do as well is kind of erode that sense of entitlement that we're hearing, we're seeing, and we're talking to some of these larger companies about, that the employees can kind of bounce around. But the goal is that the employer doesn't want to lose that employee.
Right.
The cost, the time to recruit them. So we're really passionate about that from the retention side.
It's gonna be good.
And it's been amazing.
Yeah. Well, as we wrap things up,
Yeah.
Mr. Libby,
Yeah.
give me a shot of inspiration real quick. What are we gonna lead with? What are we gonna lead with this podcast? What is it that we're for the listeners out there?
For the listeners, I mean, I've been saying this a little bit. You brought it up today, but always moving forward. It's really, really easy to get stuck in the past, but realizing the past for what it is, and then always moving forward. And I think we're gonna have some great coaches on here that talk about that. We talk about that. Our program talks about that. But your windshield is designed bigger than your rearview mirror for a reason. You always are looking forward.
I love that.
Yeah. Is that enough inspiration?
That was good.
A
Yeah.
little kick,
I
a little
think
something, a little dabble.
I love it.
Nothing huge.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Well, if you haven't yet, please check us out at peakfulfillmentcoaching.com. Or go head over to welldia.co. Maybe you're in HR, employee wellness, and you want to help out your employees. We look really forward to doing this podcast with you, with our listeners. I think there's going to be a lot to learn for all of us.
Totally.
There's going to be a lot of takeaways. And really, these are only going to be about 20-minute conversations, so they should be easy to consume and listen on a regular basis, of course.
Absolutely.
So please hit that subscribe button and notifications. And we will be chatting with you in the next Peak Podcast episode.
See you guys.